Thank you, Sarah. It's really a treat to be here at this place, at this time, and still be breathing and all that good stuff. And I'm looking forward to the day when all these things behind me have butts in them, and we've got the room full of excited and a happy throng. So I'm going to do some old and some new originals. This is a song that I wrote for my daughter, for her toy. She had a favorite dolly when she was 3, and actually the dolly that took over for her bottle as her favorite accompaniment. So she gave up the bottle and started packing the doll, and I decided that it deserved a song. And here it is, and she's, I guess she's maybe 47 years old, so it's been around a while, but you've never heard it, probably. Throw my heart up in a sack of sand, and I'll make love with my sweet little Raggedy Ann. Though your eyes don't roll in your head when you recline, we could stay awake all night now, I don't mind. When I'm stuck to the gum in your hair of sunrise red, as we lie in a heap that the kids pushed under the bed, we can dance, romance through the dreams that nobody planned. And I'll be right by the side of my wide-eyed Raggedy Ann. Oh, you had something, all the puppets laughed, and poor China Dolly's head was cracked. So when I saw you so round and firmly packed, though the Barbie doll was really stacked, and she claimed that her skin would artificially tan. Hey, no way, every thread in my heart and head cried Raggedy Ann. Oh, baby. Looking around for some place to land, flying pretty high, I see one now. Well, it looks like Raggedy Ann. Is that possible? I get my nose down close to the ground. Yes, that's my plan. I snip your heart out like the hound of love I am. Oh, yeah. When you're doubled in the middle and underneath the couch, with your smile sewed on, you could not even holler out. I would run to you just as fast as these cotton legs can. I'll be your Raggedy Andy Candy Man. The world will know I love you, Raggedy Ann. Oh, baby. Yes, indeed. A little something for my grown-up child. And as long as I have this noisy tubular thing here, I think I'll play another song that involves the kazoo. This song was inspired by some stuff that my father told me about the street preacher that came from back east back in the 30s. Came to Tacoma and put on a real show. Had people dancing in the street, wearing white sheets. They called him Father Divine. Now Father Divine, they said he's got the line. He's gonna save your soul most every time. Now Mother Divine should blow your mind most any old time. That's right. Now Father Divine, he says he's got the line. He's gonna save your soul if the price is right. Mother Divine, blow your mind if it takes all night. Father Divine, he says he's got the line. He's gonna save your immortal soul from hell. Now, Mother Divine, I can't tell you what she'll do. Father Divine, he drinks his holy wine and he says his prayers and he goes to bed. Now, Mother Divine, you getting down on the Dago Red. Oh, Mother Divine, says you blow your mind most any old time for the price of wine. And if you think I'm lying, ask Brother Divine or Sister Divine. Now I ain't denied I've had a couple of drinks and I'm not signifying no religion stinks, no man. I'm just trying to refine in my mind about the brother and the mother divine. Cause I've got the blues, I don't feel good no matter how hard a woman tries. I don't feel good no matter how hard that woman tries. I'd like to pick it up a little bit. That's better. Our Father Divine, drink his holy wine and he says his prayers and he goes to bed. Mother Divine, she's getting down on the Dago Red. Father Divine says he's got the line. He's gonna save your immortal soul from hell. Now Mother Divine, save your shoes and your shirt as well. Yes, she will. Ba ba da dee da dee da da dee da dee dee da da doo da da doo da dee da dee da doo da da doo da da doo da 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 da. Father Divine says he's got the line. He's gonna save your soul if the price is right. Now, Mother Divine, blow your mind if it takes all night. That's right. Now I ain't denying I've had a couple of drinks, and I ain't seem to find no religion stinks. No, man, I'm just trying to be fine in my mind about the mother and the brother, mother divine. 'Cause I've got the blues, don't feel good no matter how hard my woman tries. I don't feel good no matter how hard that woman tries. No, I don't feel good no matter how hard that woman tries. Okay, enough of you, Father. There was another famous street preacher about the same time, a woman named Amy Semple McPherson, and there is musical literature out there about her, too. And it's worth checking out. It's a pretty good tune. Well, no. I sure hope that's in tune, because the head of the tuner just fell off and rolled across the rug, so we'll call it perfect pitch. How's that? I had some perfect pitch yesterday. I was trying to get a mushroom out from under a fir tree, and this perfect pitch stuck to the hair on the back of my head, and I had a heck of a time washing it out of there without hurting myself. Here's a song that is about my apprenticeship at the Wax Orchards, which is was a functioning business here on the island in the last century. And I got to work there, and I felt it was a privilege, too. I really did. I loved working there. Despite the reputation of the people that owned the place, the woman who was the inheritor of Wax Orchards, whose daddy was Augie Wax, would kind of get kind of hyper and almost psychotic sometimes, but she had a good heart. She didn't mean to, it was just easy for her to go off the rails. And before she passed away, she and I think a medical practitioner discovered that lithium put her on the right track. And it was great to see Betsy at the grocery store when she'd had her medication. Now I'm the man that poisons all the cherry pie. I'm the man that poisons all the cherry pie. I poison cherry and the people cry that they cannot get enough of my rich, red, round, ripe, delicious cherry pie. That's right. I'm the man that poisons all the cherry pie. I'm the man that gets the undertaker high. Hey, it says, "Hi, John," every time I drive by, because he knows I'm good for business as my cherry pie. Yes, I'm the man, I poison all the cherry pie. I'm the man that poisons all the cherry pie. I spray them cherries and the bugs all cry, "John, there's something burning in my little tiny compound eye." I said I used to share these trees with all the birds and bees and every little beetle, worm, and fly. Until one day it came to me that if they'd go away or die, that I'd have all the cherries for my cherry pie. So I'm the man, I poison all the cherry pie. I'm the man that poisons all the cherry pie. I poison cherries and people cry that they cannot get enough of my beautiful, beautiful cherry pie. Now get some arsenate of lead or diazinon instead, but get the powder with the crossbone seal. You'll knock them little buggers dead if they try to make a meal on your round, rich, red, bright symbol of success appeal. Oh, I'm ashamed of myself. I'm the man that poisons all the cherry pie. Yes, I poison cherries till the people cry that there's too much poison, impossible. Too much poison in my cherry pie? No, no way, says I. Should I leave it there? I'll take the poison out. Yes, I will. We're entirely organic now. Let me think for a second. That's dangerous, but I'm going to do it anyway. I should explain something about my life. I was arrested in the 60s, and one of the things I got arrested for was protesting the war in Vietnam, which was kind of a thing you did then. It was like you went out in the street and you made trouble, and really similar to what's going on right now. And you got arrested, you got beaten up, maybe. Cops would work you over with a stick or with a 6-cell flashlight in the rib cage, usually places where it didn't show. They would, they were pretty smart about that. And then eventually you'd get out and they'd usually drop the charges unless there was something really egregious that you had done, which I guess could have happened to some people. But I got into the habit of writing songs about the things that offended me as far as the government and their war-making went. So instead of going out in the streets and getting beat up and arrested, I decided I'd write songs about it instead. And for the most part, I did. Actually, I still got arrested a couple more times, but I did work out a song. This is a song from Desert Storm period, and George Herbert Walker Bush, the elder, which actually the Senate of the United States argued about pro and con, and they didn't all agree, but eventually they came around to support him in his quest to, put a little squeeze on Saddam without actually killing him, which was sweet. My objection, mostly, was the fact that there's something called discretionary spending. And the government uses money for discretionary spending for the defense budget and for the education budget and for the housing and urban development budget and the health budget and a whole bunch of Commerce Department, Interior Department, keeping the national parks clean and clear. And right now there's about an $11 billion backlog for maintenance on the national parks, which might be a place that the current president or some president might pull something out of his hat like FDR had with the CCC, the Conservation Corps, that went out and planted trees and made walls and fences and did art projects and got paid for it by the government so that they had decent work. And it was an important thing in the Depression to have some kind of job that you could, call your own. So here's a little song about those days, 89, 90, I guess. I get her letter every month or so because Congress wants to keep me in the know. And now and then I'll find in there a little questionnaire asking how I think that money ought to flow. Would you rather have a rocket or a bomb? The bombs are cheaper, but the rockets do more harm. From a silo or a sub, we could hit the bathing tub in the kitchen of some Russian country farm. I said, Congressman, your head is filled with lard, but the military lobby's very hard. Just cut that welfare and those stamps and the Medicare for gramps, and you could give the Pentagon a credit card. Yes, I think we need the rockets and the bombs, lots of missile frigates, tanks, and war machines. Just another $1 trillion, and we'll make those Russians holler for the greatest peace the world has ever seen. Now, if you get a chance to make a little stir, if the government says people should be heard, try this little act of love. Write in none of the above when you're asked what kind of doomsday you'd prefer. Would you rather have the rocket or the bomb? Bombs are cheaper, but the rockets do more harm. From a silo or a sub, we could hit the bathing tub in the kitchen of some Russian country farm. From a silo or a sub, we could hit a bathing tub in the kitchen of some Russian country farm. Now, why would you do a thing like that anyway? By golly. So they're still spending over half of the discretionary stuff on the defense budget, but maybe it'll come down someday before everything else does. Okay, here's a song that I wrote, and with apologies to musicians who used the tune before I did. Actually, this is a straight cop on Chuck Berry's Ooh. Hope I can remember this. you can hear it around Baghdad, East Tel Aviv, down in the London subway, where people came to greet. All over Fallujah and places in between. Somebody throw a sheet on number 16. On number 16, she got the blown up blues, a tight fit in that body bag, I no hat, no shoes, and an arm and leg missing, and only half a face. Oh, number 16, cried through the human race. Oh, daddy, daddy, we were just having fun when there was an explosion. You see what I've become, another bloody victim of those war machines, a pile of human wreckage right here, and I'm number 16. On number 16, on this particular day, I joined a cast of thousands who met a similar fate. The paper's full of pictures, they come in one by one, but nobody's excited about what the bombs have done. Now the medical student, they arrived at the slab to meet their instructor, who came there in a cab. Today we're studying organ, heart, liver, and spleen of this unfortunate victim right here. It's number 16. Ah, number 16, she don't have to care about no latest fashion, about no wavy hair. Now I could mention Hezbollah, and of course Hamas, and Osama bin Laden, the late Al-Qaeda boss, the J. Craig, and Don Rumsfeld, the Mujahideen, man, they've all got it in for number 16. Yes, they do. Number 16, she don't have to care about the latest fashion, about no wavy hair. Now I can mention Hezbollah, and of course Hamas, and Osama bin Laden, the late Al-Qaeda boss, a Dick Cheney, Don Rumsfeld, Mujahideen, and they've all got it in for number 16. They've all got it in for number 16. Sorry, Chuck. There was an earlier series of wars before, I guess it was Ronald Reagan's turn to pick on people. You know, you pick on people that are fighting their way up, you know, into the Iron Age and see if you can bomb them back to the Stone Age, like we've been trying to do to Afghanistan for the last 20 years. This is a song that was inspired by a lawsuit that a group called the Christic Institute brought against, I don't know, the government, our federal government, our U.S. federal government. I need a drink, but I'll settle for this. There was an airplane that got shot down that was being operated by a fellow who had been in the military before, and I think he was working for a federal agency. And I think that it came down in Nicaragua or Costa Rica back in the 80s. I bought a farm down Costa Rica way, borrowed money from CIA, más o menos. How it is today, you know, everything has a price. All I've got to do to pay that loan, keep up an airstrip and a telephone, not much to ask to keep my happy home. Here in paradise. Now people say them agents got it made, mostly overworked and underpaid. They help this country build a foreign trade, you know. Everyone does their part. Like me, I run each day till I damn near drop, with the cows and the cashews and the coffee crop. Small time for mama and little curly top, but you know, they're always right here in my heart. Honkies in paradise, honkies in paradise. Everything is working mighty nice for the honkies in paradise. Now all these small brown brothers that you see, they smile, they wave my way, they laugh so free. Ain't a thing they wouldn't do for me. You know, I reckon how we come this far. Don't want a lot, little country shack, a garden plot and chickens round the back. The stuff they got don't fill a coffee sack. Sometimes I envy just how free they are. Honkies in paradise, honkies in paradise. Everything is working mighty nice for the honkies in paradise. One day this gringo on would come to me, flashed a roll of Yankee greenery, asked how much it would cost him to see just what's going out on that plane. I said, my friend, there's the CIA. You know, we just walk down and take a look today. He climbed inside. I heard him gasp and say, well, I can see they've been feeling no pain. 'Cause they had a pile of heroin you could hide a wheelbarrow in. Cocaine enough, mood and Marion, Lord Manhattan to the moon. Woo! Honkies in paradise, honkies in paradise. Everything is working mighty nice for the honkies in paradise. Honkies in paradise, honkies in paradise. Everything is working mighty nice for the honkies in paradise. Oodle-dee, boom, 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 boom. Oh, forgive me. Here's a little bit of biography, I guess, a little bit of biographical material. Just a snippet. I hear tell marijuana, it's a gateway drug, drug ride, a magic carpet, just take you straight to addiction. Want to tell you right now, it was cars that done it for me. Lead me out of reality and into Pulp Fiction. So how many other felons here got started with a speeding ticket? Did you ever drive home drunk once and didn't get caught? Power under your right foot, man, and you just can't lick it. You're moving better than sex and faster than the speed of thought. Am I addicted to getting away with murder? Is it something that started behind the wheel of a car? Who cares if she screams? Maybe nobody heard her. Am I addicted to getting away with murder? Boys my age, it started with an old Dodge, Ford, or Chevy. First one might have been free, and you never can quit. Motors just get stronger, and some bodies got real heavy, till there's 2 or 3 tons wrapped around the place you sit. So how many gallons have you fed to a hungry machine? The pump is on, I don't suppose nobody's counting, 'cause the handle's never too heavy at the first church of gasoline. The numbers flash and spin, and the price tag just keeps amounting. Am I addicted to getting away with a murder? Something that happened behind the wheel of a car. Who cares if she screamed? Maybe nobody heard her. Am I addicted to getting away with murder? So I was pumping California, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Wyoming, Texas, Canada, and Alaska, and Mexico, and Venezuela, and Nigeria, and Arabia. Bring me around to that question I wanted to ask you. How is the army doing in old Iraq? Them Halliburton boys ever get that oil flowing? I don't suppose there's a chance in hell we'll ever be calling them back. Now this rig's on fire, I reckon I ought to be rolling. Am I addicted to getting away with murder? Is it something that started behind the wheel of a car? Who cares if she screams? Maybe nobody heard her. Am I addicted to getting away with murder? Getting away with murder, you know, getting away with murder. On some level, yeah. I guess we are. Well, let's lighten up a little bit. This is a song about, it's actually a song about well, geography and politics and uh, man's incessant greedy lust for power and glory and money and gold and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, about 22 years ago, I think it was 23, a while back, some miners in Brazil discovered gold and other valuable things in the territory that was considered a kind of like a reservation for these people called Yanomami. And they live down in Brazil, and well, somewhere in between Brazil and Colombia or Ecuador, or no, Venezuela probably, northern Brazil. Anyhow, so a whole bunch of miners showed up there, and people there got real sick, and then I think Brazilians got a government that actually looked out for those people to some degree, and kind of put the clamp on it and gave the Yanomamis a little more control, and what was left of them, and so that went along fine, except that now there's a new president down there, some guy named Bows and Arrows or something like that. Anyway, he wants to get rid of all those people that live in the Amazon so that the people that he knows and likes could go in and log and mine and stuff. So he just assumed that all the other people died. So they've got a problem again, you know. This is a song from the first time they had a problem. Well, 3 little children lying in bed, 2 of them sick and the other most dead. Now, call for the doctor, he shakes his maracas, said I could fix him, but the drugs is in a warehouse in Caracas. Yanamami's little baby, never seen a toaster. Yanamami's little babies, never ride no train. Yanamami's little babies, love my psychedelic posters. Yanamami's little babies, love the party when it rains. Party when it rains. Yes, way down south, even south of Alabama, there's a bunch of friendly people called themselves Yanomami. Now they're living in the jungle, Venezuela or Brazil. People love the pongo till they always say, get ill, Yanomami's little baby. Eating termite larvae, Yanomami's little baby. Eating monkey brain, Yanomami's little baby. They go swimming when it's sunny, Yanomami's little babies love to party when it rains. They party when it rains. Party when it rains. Now someone's drilling oil down in Yanomami County. Someone found an emerald. Wasn't that a bounty? They're panning gold in the Yanomami River, setting all the Yanomamis coming down with swollen livers. Yanomami's little baby. Never seen a graveyard. Yanomami's little babies. They don't bury no dead. No man, they reduces them to ashes. Add a little water, stirs them up and pass them around, and they just drink them down instead. Yanomami's little baby. Even termite larvae, Yanomami's little baby. They like them big piranhas too, you know. A piranha steak would be good for Yanomami, and maybe a dogfish fin and hattie might be good for me and you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm Mama's little baby. Believe in loving and affection. Yeah, and I'm Mama's little babies, believe in hugs for young and old. Yeah, and I'm Mama's little baby, believe emotional protection should be soft and warm and fuzzy and not shiny, hard and cold. Yeah, and I'm Mama's little baby. Yeah, and I'm Mama's little baby goes fishing when it's hungry time. Yes, they do. Yeah, and I'm Mama's little baby. Loving fish gravy. Yeah, Mama's little babies go fishing when they're hungry. Yeah, Mama's little babies love to party when it rains. They party when it rains. All the ones that left, they love to party when it rains. Party when it rains. Yes, they do. Oh my gosh. I, 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 I don't know anything about this stuff. I've never, never. That's why I've never. Let's see. I know what he wants to hear. I know what he wants to hear. Very well then. But before I do, I'm going to take my life in my hands. Well, not my whole life. Mess, what a mess that would be. I've got a poem that I wrote about 18 years ago that I still kind of like, and it's kind of a business-related thing. It's let's see here. I should give you some background. I was at the Thriftway grocery store in West Seattle, just a couple of miles away from the ferry where the boat that I take to get to the mainland lands, going from Vashon. In 2002, the grocery store let somebody try to introduce a product called Paypoint, in which you registered to pay for your groceries and whatever by means of a fingerprint scan. So you could do a fingerprint scan, and that would be, no more messy checks, no more slippery plastic, just skin, there it was. And this campaign went on for about 6 weeks, and I noticed a change in its presentation that seemed to indicate that not all was well with the promotional that they were working. So here it is. I knew that Paypoint was in trouble when the pitch changed from the 40-something blonde and black, pretty school teacher turned loan officer, to the leggy 20-something brunette with great bones and insouciant, appraising smile. When we left the bank lobby for the Love Boat, I felt that thrill of recognition, a glimpse outside the world as clear-eyed Clintonians morphed to gay Calypsonians. The message never changed. Safe. It's safe. It's as safe as only a fingerprint can be. No one will ever know it's you. Algorithms protected, defend us constantly from the bored teenager in San Clemente, from the 13-year-old math whiz in Sarajevo, from the budding hormone-addled genius just outside Tel Aviv, desperately seeking distraction, from the lisping ward of the court, punched every day for his impediment by boys in love with the cheerleaders who goes willingly Borgward into the hacker's queue, dons the wire harnesses, awaits further orders, awash in the blessed numbing of useful anonymity. Saint Algorithm we do beseech, protect us and our identity. Black magnetic strip, begone your portability. Only I can own my anonymous print with the image of the mugger with a keychain filled with fresh, plump fingers. No, that is not one of mine. Oh. The strike against Al-Qaeda base, only hours after the most recent blowjob disclosure, missed the man by 90 minutes. I heard the earnest male voice reassure the client. Your anonymity is our holy grail, Mr. Bin Laden. I mean, a sacred stone of trust. And myself there, leaving a Thriftway checkout line, having my yogurt and Mac and a ripe avocado, and a woven handbag, slowing down to read the headline on the stranger, will never hear the voice in the stratosphere intone, the print checks out, you have the coordinates, launch command positive, all systems go. And actually, in a way, there's something else I was thinking about today with all these dead people that are piling up in freezers and stuff and other people deriding them. For collateral damages in Afghanistan, I think the Pentagon or the State Department allows a $2,500 payment for dead people that were accidentally killed by, say, a drone strike or something like that. On the other hand, if you're an American and you want to sue Monsanto for screwing with your biota with glyphosate, you might get $1 billion, It could happen. I think it has happened. So the difference between, say, 100,000 dead Americans getting paid on the Afghani scale would come out to like less than $250 million. But if you paid on the American scale, it would come out to about $100 trillion. That discrepancy somehow bothers me. It does, there's, I don't know, it's not a sense of decency exactly. Maybe before I pick that guitar up again, I will read one more thing that I remembered to bring, if I can find it. There, is that it? Oh no, not that one. That one's about drugs. You don't want to hear about drugs and drugs. Drugs, and actually it's also about, well, this is kind of about drugs too. I might have a predilection for thinking about drugs. This was my pitiful attempt back in 1989 to write something that was kind of like rap or something, but I never did anything. Nobody's ever heard this before. And remember, it was 1989. It was a long time ago. It was like 30 years ago. I wasn't even 50 years old. I was just a kid. So, don't be a dunce. Grab the significance. I'm only going to say this once. Poor people, ratio minorities, on their backs, on their butts, on their hands and knees, don't give a shit about a nuclear freeze. Just can't worry about social disease or who to please. Progress intrudes. It's majority, clean law and order dudes. Put economic progress ahead of your mood. Get screwed. I remember how the Christians scream when the Roman lions intrude on the dream of a critical meeting with Jesus Christ. Now, was that nice? I see the problem then was just what we got all over again. Dark-skinned people doing the tiring work and the light-skinned hiring and firing jerk you around from Yakima Valley to the Puget Sound, so get down. I don't mean on your luck, snuggled up like feathers on a goose and a duck to a warm fuck. I mean open your head, like I said, and look around. The bullshit's so deep, we all could drown without a sound, just throttled in snot. We could all choke on the smoke of all the toys we got, some hot, some broken, some to toke. It's like a Roman joke on them that the poor folk listened to the lines that Jesus spoke. Then they all turned lazy, got crazy. Everything was hazy. It's all clear now, and it really amazed me. Jesus is back. Christ is crack. Jesus is back. Christ is crack. Christ is crack. Okay, enough of that. You can see why I didn't bother to put it to music. Have I got time to do another song? Maybe? One more? Okay, let's see. All right. I saw a guy with a hole in his head, man. I saw the guy with a hole in his head, man. He had a tiny little hole in his nose, man. He didn't have no holes in his clothes, man. And I think this dude is pretty cool, man. So I don't want to look like no fool, man. So I tried to poke a hole in my head, man. I thought I'd poke a hole in my head. So I tried to poke a hole in my head, man. I tried to poke a hole in my head, man. I tried to poke a hole in my head, man. I tried to poke a hole in my head, man. I tried to poke a hole in my head, man. I tried to poke a hole in my head, man. You know, somebody gave me a pin, man. The toothpick just wouldn't go in, man. So I poked a little hole in my head, man. I poked a little hole in my head, man. I poked a little hole in my head, man. That's a little tiny hole in my head, man. I poked a little hole in my head, man. A tiny little hole in my head, man. It was such a tiny hole in my head, man, that you can't even see what I did, man. So I put a shiny ring in my head, man. I put this other shiny thing in my head, man. I put a fishing hook in my head, man. Tell me, how does it look in my head, man? Is it groovy now? Am I cool? Yes, I poke a little hole in my head, man. I poke another hole in my head, man. I poke another hole in my head, man. Oh, I'm losing control. I'm a dead man. Holy moly. I poke a little hole in my head, man. I poke a little tiny hole in my head, man. Everybody should poke holes in their head, man. Stop before you did, man. Okay? Thank you. throw something at me. Check my pimped out ride, man. You take out the jeweler. There's a cold steel ice in that built-in cooler. And feel a stick of jerky, make myself at home. Light up a cowboy and I'm reaching for the phone. And I'm smoking on the phone, baby. Yeah, I got the cash CD in the subwoofer on so loud I can't hear what's spoken on the phone. I'm smoking on the phone. I text my woman to see if she's alone. I could drive this pickup with my left knee bone. I'm driving, eating, drinking, smoking on the phone. Driving, eating, drinking, and smoking on the phone. I'm driving, eating, drinking, I'm smoking on the phone. Driving this highway's like putting on a shoe. I could do it in my sleep, and I have a time or two every morning, every evening, doing it alone. That is until I get a hold of sugar on the phone, and I'm smoking on the phone. I call that woman because I'm feeling all alone, you know. I could drive this pickup with my left knee bone, and I'm driving, eating, drinking, smoking on the phone. I'm driving, eating, drinking, oh man, I'm smoking on the phone. Drive this pickup with my left knee bone. I could even run a slalom through them safety cones. Driving, eating, drinking, smoking on the phone. Driving, eating, drinking, smoking on the phone. I'm driving, eating, I'm drinking, I'm smoking on the phone. Okay? I promise I never act like that in public. Never. I never do.